You know, I've met couples. Somebody came to me and told me, my father and mother told me, for them it's important that we get married in a cathedral. And I said, which cathedral did Abraham marry Sarah? No. Tell me the cathedral Isaac and Rebecca entered. But they kept their marriages. Are you hearing me? And we saw people who walked in the grandest cathedrals. I told people, when I looked at Prince Charles and Diana wedding, I saw it when I was a little child. What you saw, you'd not believe they would divorce. Those of you who are a bit old enough. Hallelujah. Unfortunately, it failed. Unfortunately, it failed. You see, I've seen people married with the best event. The whole world attended. They're on every TV screen and they're not happy. And I know people who didn't even have food on their wedding. They ate cake and they're happy because it's not the forms, it's the principle. Now, joining. So he says, who therefore God has joined, let no man put asunder. If you go back to Matthew there, who therefore God has joined together. In some versions, it puts a bracket, yoked together. So the word there, joining, is yoked. Give me the Amplified, maybe it might give me that. It says, who therefore God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Does it say separate? Yes. But there's a version that uses yoked together. Some versions use yoked together. Because the very word joined, is the very word yoked. Now let's have the conversation on yoking. Let's understand what it means to be yoked. For those of you who are readers or who know history, yokes were harnesses that were put on animals. You remember? They were put on animals, oxen or other beasts of burden. Some used bulls or whatever they used to use. They get an animal and put a yoke around its neck, and then get another animal and also put a yoke around its neck. That same yoke, one yoke is holding two animals, and then behind they would help either pull loads or plow fields or carry heavy things. You see what I'm saying? Now, who therefore God has joined means that every marriage is a yoking. There is something that ties the two of you for a particular mission, for a particular task. Never forget this. For a particular what? Task. It is not the joining of God if you don't know the mission of your marriage. Or if the mission does not exist. Sorry, not if you don't know. You might not know, but it exists. But if the mission does not exist, it doesn't matter how much you are yoked or married. It's not a marriage ordained by God. Because God has intended that every man and woman, when they meet together and become one flesh, there's a yoke that ties both to a specific mission. Like it would tie these animals to plow or carry a load, there is a responsibility, a purpose for every marriage. Now imagine your little girl who comes from university. Oh, I fell in love with Ivan, not real name. Or give me a name. Emmanuel. And he's a hot guy. He's a good guy. He's born again. He makes me laugh and smile. Oh, get married. Why is she married? Because he's smart, he's good looking, he has money, he comes from a good family, etc. And then you sit these little two things and ask them, what is your purpose in this marriage? And they have no clue. The point is we love each other. What? Haven't you loved men before? No, not like this one. But haven't you loved men before? Yes, for many cases. Or weren't you smitten by some girl in high school and you even forgot to write your paper? Yes. So what's the difference between that one and this one? No, this one is serious. I even put a ring on her. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? God, let me show you how God designs marriages. He looks at a certain purpose X and sees that this purpose can be fulfilled by two. And then he gets these two and yokes them to fulfill that purpose. God joins people with an end in mind. You see what I'm saying? Because there are people 10, 15 years. What is the purpose of your marriage? We have had children. Even non-believers have children. Even those who are not married have children. I'm not talking about making babies. We have built life together. We are happy. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the mind of God behind the two of you. Simpler question. Why the two of you? Why not any other man? Why not any other woman? When you understand that, divorce becomes harder. It becomes harder because you see what is breaking in this separation, and you want to make sure you're not the one who has broken it, except God. When he said, "Let no man put asunder," he meant you too, because you're a man also. Yes, he meant you too. You understand what I'm saying? Let no man. That means if he sees that this is frustrating, but also it is there's a danger of not understanding what the yoke means, or who you were yoked to and why you were yoked to them and not anyone else. Somebody shout hallelujah. Did you know that the root word for yoking actually is from a word called submission? So in the essence of it, we submit ourselves to serve a certain purpose. And in submitting ourselves to serve a certain purpose, we agree with God to be yoked with another individual. That means it takes a certain fear of God to actually get married and stay married. So are you understanding why some people are throwing it away just easily? You see what I'm saying? It takes a certain fear of God to stay married. That is why when Jesus speaks of divorce, he says, Moses allowed divorce because of the hardness of your hearts. But from the beginning, he said, it was not so. But you hardened your heart toward God. And he said, okay, Moses said, let me allow it. So divorce was circumstantial. It wasn't God's idea.